Right. And we saw that happening. I was just thinking about, you were asking how many at the beginning. Remember we had 4 little boxes and it had
Yep.
4 or 5 in there. So I think it was closer to like 16 different. I just thinking about back in when we first started, there was about 16 major players that we submitted to, and it was a different animal. But oh my goodness! And one of the things that I got really kind of angry. I'm going to digress real quick.
Go for it.
I don't know if you saw this or not, but I kind of keep track of the new subscriptions as they come in. I just got to peruse. I saw one come in from Finland today. I don't know if you saw that one or not.
I did. That's going to be our first one in Finland, and I don't think they use provinces, and I don't think they use states.
no,
So I'm waiting.
I
I'm
think
gonna contact them and find out, what they're going to need on that, because I know we can submit out to Finland. We have some Finland stuff, but I have no idea how they handle their address system.
I don't think so. I think it's regions is what But I digress. But we were talking about who sees it, how they see it. Well, we submit ourselves out there as well to our networks, and I'm sure that kind of helped get that information to them as well. For whatever reason, we popped up on their search process. Besides the fact that we try to promote things with our podcasts, our YouTube videos, and all those other wonderful things we do. But I mean, I just find it fascinating how complicated things are, but they're not. If you really try to deep dive into some of the network stuff, it gets really twisted around and knotted up. I mean, because you talk about we talk about the root structure of our ecosystem. As you strengthen those roots, your trunk grows too because you're providing all these nutrients.
Yep.
And I mean, if we start to break down that whole concept by doing this and getting on more networks, your trunk gets stronger to support all the rest of the stuff that you're putting out there. So, I mean,
Your trunk also gets bigger if you have a bigger website and you have more blogs to it. So, I mean,
right,
it can get bigger that way. But if you don't have a good root system, you're never going to drive any traffic to there. So, one big thing I've heard for years, I can go all the way back into the 90s for this when I first started selling websites out there. And you and I had this conversation the other day. I don't remember if it was on a huddle or if it was just you and I talking, but do you remember when people would say, I'm not getting the results from my website. I paid all this money. So
oh
back
yeah,
in the day, it was like, paid $20,000, $30,000. I'm paying the thousands of dollars every month and all this stuff going on. And they weren't driving any traffic to it.
right.
And it comes down to that same principle. It's actually gotten probably worse than it was, is because you have all these different updates.